Hola amigos, bien o no, saludos otra vez desde Medellín. Hoy tema un poco diferente. Am, en estas semanas pasado, muchos de mis estudiantes aquí en Medellín am, pide ayuda porque su trabajo está en, como dice, centro de contacto o call centers. Y muchos de ellos pregúntame, ay, ¿cómo son mejor oraciones o cómo pueda manejar mejor estas llamadas? So, hoy ese es el tema para mostrar con un ejemplo, con una conversación imaginario, cómo pueda modular tu tono de voz y también por algunas oraciones útiles que pueda ayudar si ese es tu tipo de trabajo. Listo. Okay. So, hello again. Here we are, still in Medellin. Today we're going to do something a bit different. Lots of my students in the last week or so have been asking questions about call centers. Quite a few of them work in call centers, or they deal with lots of telephone calls from clients. And it's that type of problem in terms of how do you manage the call, what's the best way to deal with these type of phone calls, how do you can use tone of voice, what kind of phrases can we use. So I thought best way to look at this, because really there's almost an infinite way we could deal with this depending on the company, the product, the type of phone call you're dealing with, but there are still a few examples that hold true in most situations. We're going to do an imaginary phone call. I'm going to pretend that I'm the agent taking the call. You don't get to hear the other part of the phone call, but I think it's enough if I show you how I would respond. You can imagine what the other person's likely to say. We'll assume in this case that my caller is ringing to complain about something, and my task is to try and offer a solution that the client finds acceptable. So I'm just going to read this, but I'm going to do this so you can listen to the tone of voice and some of the phrases I'm using. And hopefully this will give you an example. You might be able to go, okay, I could use that, or something like that, yeah? Okay, so we're going to kick off. So the phone's ringing, I can see my light on, so I'm going to take the call. Hello, sorry to keep you waiting. You're through to Graham. How can I help? Uh-huh. I see. I'm sorry to hear that. Can I just ask, what day did that happen? I understand. Well, let's see what we can do about that. Can I just confirm your account number for the record? Oh, I see. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Johnston. Okay, so just to clarify now, you said that the incident happened on the 12th, is that right? On the 12th. Yes, okay, I understand. Allow me to confer with my expert colleague for just a moment. Mr. Johnson, hello, hi. Thanks for waiting. I've spoken to my expert colleague, and in this case, we can arrange for this solution to the incident. Well, I'm sorry you feel disappointed by this solution, Mr. Johnson. I'm truly sorry you feel disappointed in this case, but I'm afraid that would have to be our final offer in this case. Yes, I'm happy to confirm that in writing, and I'm sorry again that you're disappointed with our offer. Thanks again, Mr. Johnson. Thank you for your time. Okay, so that's a very brief way of showing particularly tone of voice. Now you can imagine what the other person might have said, particularly if he's unhappy, particularly if he's turned down our company's offer, because often that's the case. We offer so much, they want something different, you can't agree. I'm just going to point out some other things I did in the call to show you one tactic I've always found very useful when I'm dealing with these type of phone calls. If you need a bit more time to think, And particularly if you need a bit more time for the client to cool down, if he's very cross, very annoyed, don't be shy, put him back on hold. But I do it by referring to my expert colleague. So it's not my manager, I'm not going outside of my authority, I'm just dealing with my expert colleague who knows a lot more about the particular specifics of the situation my client's complaining about, particularly if they're complaining, and it gives me time to think about what I can genuinely offer. It gives me a few seconds, it doesn't have to be long, 10-20 seconds, not much, and I can then come back to him with the answer I was going to give. It's given him just a little bit of time to calm down. Hopefully he's a bit more receptive, because then I'm telling him again that I've spoken to my expert colleagues. So this is like the best information we have to help solve the problem. So maybe try that one. That's quite an interesting gambit to have a go at. Notice sorry. Sorry is really good with that, because you can use it to politely interrupt. Sorry, can I just confirm your account number? So I've had to interrupt him. So, sorry, Ms. Johnson, can I just confirm your account number? And then we do a summary. Just to clarify, go back over the events. Is that right? Hopefully he'll agree with you and say, yes, that's right. And then you can go with whatever your final solution to this problem is. I'll show you the last part, because often, unfortunately, the solution or the offer you're giving them is not what they expected, and often they're a bit disappointed. So sometimes you have to offer, okay, well look, I'm sorry, that really is the final offer we can give you in this case, but I'm happy to confirm that to you in writing, so we know that that really is it. Something of that sort. It may have gone too far. Perhaps you're not going to be able to retain the client in this case. But there we go. So a little bit different today. Hope perhaps you find that useful. These are the kind of topics sometimes I have to work through with some of my other students, I say, on this sort of theme. So déjame saber en los comentarios if you find this type of one helpful or not. I hope so. And for the moment, at least, from Medellin, I will say cheerio for now.